In this video, we're going to talk about the kneeling single arm jammer press. Like with many of the exercises that I cover in this exercise tutorial series, it's a great lift that's very underrated and rarely utilized. So we're going to talk about the muscles targeted, how to set up for and perform the exercise, and make sure to stick around to the end where we'll talk about some common mistakes and how to fix them. What's up guys, Ryan here at TreadawayTraining.com, where we help busy professionals get more results in less time through online training. Now before we begin, if you want more information on body transforming training and nutrition topics, consider subscribing. Now, to start with, let's talk about muscles targeted by this exercise. Unlike most jammer press variations, which are typically used as full body power movements, the variation that we're going to be outlining is a bit more focused. In this exercise, we're going to be performing horizontal shoulder adduction, which is carried out by the pecs and anterior deltoids, shoulder flexion, which is carried out by the clavicular or upper head of the chest and the anterior deltoids, and elbow extension, which is carried out by the triceps. However, the main target of this variation is the upper portion of the chest. So now that we know the muscles that we're targeting, let's talk about how to set up for and perform the exercise. Attach one end of a barbell to a landmine attachment. If you don't have a landmine attachment, you can simply take the barbell and stick it in the corner of a squat rack or the corner of a weight tree or another machine, or you can even stick the barbell in the corner of the room, assuming that you have brick or block walls so that you're not damaging the walls. And if none of those are an option, you can buy a standalone landmine off of Amazon for just over 20 bucks, and I will link one of those down in the description. Load weight onto the free end of the barbell. Turning slightly toward the bar, get in a half kneeling position at the free end of the barbell. The knee that's down will be on the side that you're pressing with. Place a foam pad or a yoga mat on the ground if kneeling is uncomfortable for you. Pick the weight up to your shoulder. This will be the starting position. Press the bar up and across your body. This will allow you to get a full horizontal shoulder adduction contraction, which is something you don't get with most chest exercises, as well as a fairly large shoulder flexion range of motion. Keep the body upright and don't lean into the press as you would with most jammer press variations to ensure the stress stays on the chest. Lower the bar back into the starting position slow enough that you're not bouncing or using momentum to go into the next rep. This will help prevent your obliques from assisting the movement by eliminating trunk rotation and lateral flexion of the spine. The eccentric or downward phase of the rep should take 1 to 2 seconds. If you find that you have one side that's weaker than the other, always start on the weaker side and base the weight that you're using on that weaker side. If you're progressing at the weight that your weaker side can handle, that will ensure that the weaker side eventually catches up to the stronger side. And on the topic of weight, because this variation is so strict, it's well suited for more moderate weights in the 6 to 15 rep range. Now that we've talked about how to perform the exercise, let's talk about how not to perform the exercise. That's normally where I would say, now let's talk about a few of the mistakes that I commonly see that you'll want to avoid. But I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone utilize this awesome exercise before. The easiest mistake to make is to use your obliques to assist the movement by rotating your trunk and flexing the spine. This is often a result of using too much weight, requiring you to use the obliques to assist the press. Now there's nothing wrong with using the obliques in a jammer press in general, it's just not what we want in this variation. If you find yourself doing this, simply lower the weight. The other mistake is leaning into the press. And again, there's nothing wrong with leaning into a jammer press in general, it's just not what we want in this variation because it removes emphasis from the chest and places it onto the shoulders. And the good news is, if you followed the setup process that I outlined earlier, you actually can't make this mistake because your arm will be crossing in front of your head, which will prevent you from leaning forward. And there you have it, the kneeling single arm jammer press. An amazing but highly underutilized chest builder. Question of the day. Have you ever done this exercise before, or have you even seen this exercise done before? And if you haven't, do you plan on incorporating this into your program? Let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. If you want more content just like this, consider subscribing, or you can check out the exercise tutorial playlist, which will be up on the screen right here, or you can check us out on the Treadaway Training Blogcast. We're there every Sunday at 3 p.m. That's treadawaytraining.com/blog. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you don't have a landmine attachment, you can stick one of, and if none of these are you can buy a standalone landmine attachment off of Amazon, and they're pretty cheap. They're just over